Today I'm making creme puffs, or pâte à choux. Pâte à choux is a deceptively simple French pastry dough that's butter, water, flour, and eggs. So simple, but looks magnificent, has many different uses, either sweet or savory, and I'm going to do a traditional sweet application today. But it starts out in here, I'm boiling a half a cup of water and a half a stick of butter. Super easy, it's just now come to a boil. A little pinch of salt, because you always need that in a pâte à choux, or in any kind of thing you're making actually. And I'm going to put a heaping quarter teaspoon of my chai spice blend. I'm going to spice these up just a little bit. I want to mix that in. And then I'm going to add a half a cup of flour. Once I add this, I'm going to kind of stir quickly. I'll mix and the dough will come together, form a ball, and we'll kind of start to adhere in a film to the bottom of my pan. And that's okay, that's what you want. You want to give it just enough time to cook the flour down. You'll start to smell the flour become a little toasty, and it's going to come together in a nice ball. It's going to look a little silky, and I can smell those chai spices that I put in there. Now this is something that we had as kids all the time. My mom would make them. My dad absolutely loved creme puffs. He likes his with a custardy filling. That was kind of one of my favorite ways too. They had this bakery near us that would make them too, and if my mom wasn't making them, she was going to Hirely's Bakery and getting their creme puffs. They were so phenomenal. We were really excited when she brought the box home because we knew what was in that box. All right, it's all come together, and I don't think it needs to cook any longer. And you could add your eggs right in here. I'm going to need 2 eggs in this, but I'm going to put it into this bowl just to make it a little easier to see and give myself a little bit more surface area to beat. Because here's where the hard work comes in. I'm going to let this dough cool for just a couple of minutes while I crack my eggs in here. 2 eggs. And you want to just add your eggs one at a time and incorporate each egg really, really well. And this is where you're going to get a good workout. There goes one. And I'm going to beat, and it looks like it's going to separate, but then all of a sudden it'll come together. And you'll say, oh, I did a good job beating that egg in. And this dough, you can make it sweet or savory. Like I said, it's really great if you want to add fresh herbs at this point, if you're going to make a savory dough. And you can make a lovely cream filling with shrimp and asparagus to go inside. Kind of like a fancy meal. All right, time for egg number 2. The last time I made these, I made a sweet application, and I used pitaya, freeze-dried dragon fruit powder in here, and they were this beautiful fuchsia color. I was kind of experimenting for Valentine's desserts because I love planning a Valentine's dinner, and I always want a real special dessert. I want a whole special dinner actually, but I kind of work from dessert backwards. You can probably see it's a very smooth and kind of silky looking. All right, then I'm going to put mine into a piping bag. You don't have to take this step. At this point, you can use spoons and just spoon it onto a baking sheet, but I'm going to use a piping bag. It just kind of gives me a little bit more control. And I put it in this cylindrical container. It's kind of like my third hand when I want to put something into a piping bag. I'll just scrape the dough in there. You saw how quickly that came together, right? This is so fun, and if I were really adept at piping onto this baking sheet, you can do swan shapes, you can do heart shapes, you can do kind of any shape you want. I'm going to do a blob shape, because that's what I'm good at. All right, so let me move this out of the way and we'll get ready to pipe these onto the baking sheet. Okay, here we go. Got my dough in the piping bag. Just squeeze it down. kind of slap it really to get any air bubbles out of it, because you know when you're piping something, all of a sudden you get that and it just kind of messes up your piping job. And then I just want to cut off the tip and then start piping onto my sheet. And I'm going to get 6 good size cream puffs, pot de choux from this particular batter. You can make them smaller if you wanted to make quite a few and just make them look real pretty. But I'm going to go for regular sized pot de choux, not too big, not too small, but right in the middle. Those look great. And then if you wet the tips of your fingers, you don't want any peaks that might burn. So I'm flattening them down, putting water on the tips of my fingers, just helps them not to stick. And then I'm going to sprinkle on just some pink sprinkles. Let's see how this comes out as I'm experimenting for my Valentine's desserts. We'll give these a touch of pink sprinkles. All right, here they are. These are going to go into my 375 oven for about 30 minutes. All right, these are done. And my husband Tim is going to be the taste tester. It's a rough job, right?
I know, but I can't resist a cream puff.
Oh yeah. So, once these came out of the oven, I wanted to tear off the tops because I want the steam to escape. That way they won't start to sag. And so I'm going to just pull off the top a little bit. And we're going to just serve these with regular ice cream.
I'm all for it.
The dairy-free version. And a spoonful right in there. Well, that looks good already, but I'm not done yet. I made a little chocolate ganache, just a melted dairy-free creamer and chocolate chips.
Even better.
Even better. And I'm not done yet.
Oh.
I have a little bit of crushed pistachio on top.
Aha.
Oh, that looks pretty. And
Yes.
a fork for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
There you go.
Yum, yum. Let's take a bite.
It smells good.
It does smell good. I love fresh baked stuff. Very good.
Very good. Okay.
I like it.
All right. The recipe's on.
TaylorKitchen.net. We'll see you there.
Hey friends, thanks so much for watching Taylor Kitchen. For recipes and a whole lot more, go to TaylorKitchen.net. Thanks again.